So when I count from 5 down to 0, you're going to find yourself again among the travelers, the blue-gray people that you saw before. And we're going to ask them some questions. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. Now look around and look at your body and verify if you're there. You can speak to me. Are you back in the same body that you were before?
Yes.
Okay. And where are you now? What's around you?
I'm in the sphere.
Okay. So let's start with the sphere. Can you describe that to me, please?
There's green, appears to be grass-like stuff beneath my feet. A pond or lake or water source. Liquid. I'm assuming it's water. It looks like water. And the sphere is see-through. It's clear. It's like, looks like a glass sphere, but I know it's not glass. And there's green everywhere.
How big is the sphere?
It's not as big as a town. It's smaller, much smaller than a town.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the size of a building or a house or two.
Okay. And are you able to come to the edge where you said like that looks like glass, the surface of it? Are you able to touch it, or
Mm-hmm.
can you do that and tell me if you know what it's made out of or what it feels like?
It feels smooth, cold to the touch, but smooth, clear. I'm not sure what it's made out of, though.
And so the whole area inside is just green?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And is it like open space like grass, or are there plants and trees?
Plants, plant type things, trees or growing green things.
Mm. Are there things that are grown that you consume, or is it just to enjoy?
Just to enjoy, not eat.
And are you there alone right now, or are there others around?
No, it's just me. It's just me.
So this sphere, is it meant for one person at a time, or?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just for me, for a place to go, for silent communion, for relaxation, for being alone.
Mm-hmm. And so go ahead and do what you would usually do. Do you have a favorite spot there?
Yes, by the forest, by the trees.
So go ahead and go there. And what do you do?
I go and I commune. I raise my arms in the air, and it's making me want to cry for some reason.
Stay with that feeling. Why are you feeling that?
It's it's because I'm lonely.
You're lonely in the sphere, or you're lonely in general?
I think in general, because I know I'm about to leave.
Oh, is this time for you to go to your next experience?
I think so. I think I'm leaving soon.
Okay. And do you know where you will be heading?
Not yet.
Okay. So you mentioned that you put your arms up in the air. Is that how you commune usually?
It's like I'm paying homage to our ancestors, our old ones,
Mm-hmm.
and saying goodbye and time of purification, of preparation.
So in your society, do you have free choice?
Not the way you would think. It's we willingly are bound together, so all of our choices are for the good of all of us.
Okay, so you don't have an individual free choice then.
You do in your small day-to-day choices, but your overall pattern of life is pre-chosen.
And so based on that, you can't then choose not to go to this travel if you feel so lonely.
It wouldn't be possible. It wouldn't be something I would do.
Okay. Do you ever wish not to go?
No, I know I need to go. I want to go, but I know what I'm going to be leaving everything behind.
So tell me a little bit about who you would be leaving behind. Last time you said you don't really have a family structure, but do you have people that you feel particularly close to?
Feels like it's more of a tribe or something of that sort. It's like a larger group, but it's still small. It's not a just one or two. It's many.
And can you tell me a little bit about your social structure? How are you organized within your society? Is there any kind of, do you form groups? Is there any kind of hierarchy? Is anybody in charge?
The priest society, the ones that run the city that we went to, they seem to be the focus. And there's groups, tribes, small groups that are maybe a large family unit type, but each family group tribe has a purpose that they fulfill in the overall culture of who we are. Nobody's rules or is over anybody else. It's like everybody knows where they belong, and it's equal or not hierarchical.
Okay. And you said that different groups have different purposes. Can you give me an idea of what those might be?
There's a group that produces us. It's like they're breeders or something that where we all will come from, but then we go to after that we don't stay there, we move on to the next, to our final grouping, or I guess family tribe group is not where we're born. It's due to our gifts after we're born, I guess you could say.
Okay. And how are your gifts determined?
I think it's determined when you're first sent away for your quiet time, when you go out away from everybody, and you learn how to survive on your own, and you learn how to strengthen your communion abilities. Or the rest of your abilities at that point should show up.
And what is your gift?
I feel like it has to do with the travelers. Something about the travelers.
You said that all of you are travelers. Is that correct? Or are there just some of you that travel and others have different purposes?
Yeah, we all can be travelers, but not everybody travels.
Okay. So your gift then puts you into that group of travelers?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And as we talk, if you become aware of specifically what that gift is, please share that with me.
Okay.
So I'd like to ask you about that breeder group because I was wondering how you are born or how you enter into this society, because you said you're kind of ageless. So I was wondering if there is a sort of a starting and an ending point to you. So can you tell me more about how you come into the society?
I can't see into the breeders. They're creators. They're not like having babies. They're creating us. I think, well, they're pulling us in, and we are ageless. We just choose to come into this planet at the time.
When they pull you in, is that energetically? They pull you into the physical?
Yeah, it feels like something like that.
And do you spend a lot of time with them?
Mm-mm. You're not there long.
Okay.
Just to get oriented.
And when you come in, are you still, is it comparable to like a human child? Are you in the, do you have a stage of childhood or do you come in as an adult?
Yeah, there's no childhood. It's an awareness. It's a growing awareness after you come in.
Okay. I understand that there is no time for you, but do you have a sense of how long does it take for you from the moment you enter to the point where you can go for that first isolation experience, that first communion time?
It does take. It's not immediate. There is an adjustment period. Each of us is different in that regard. We determine when we're ready to move on.
Can you tell me if you are able to experience feelings and emotions? Do you feel love? Do you feel compassion? Like, what things do you feel or experience?
The overall feeling that we feel is connection and endearment. I'm not sure if it's love. It's a caring. It's a commitment to all of us together. And there is loneliness because we're so connected, but before the connection's strengthened, if you're too far away from everyone, like when you first come in, you don't have that, you haven't learned how to strengthen that connection, that communion.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're close to one another, it's easier. It's a lot easier. So that's why when you go out away from all of the settlements, that it requires you to learn how to tap in and really strengthen your communion, your connection with everyone. And during that time, it can be very lonely because you're used to being connected all the time. It's hard to describe.
Right. No, I understand. So, do you consider your species or society, or what you would call it, sort of as one, that you're all part of one being, part of one entity?
No. I feel like we're individuals but connected integrally to each other.
So, tell me a little bit more about your day-to-day life. Let me understand what it looks like. So you have the breeders, you have the travelers. I'm guessing there are some of you staying on the planet at all time. What do others do, or what do you do during the day?
We do things around we eat, we learn, we spend time doing things that are necessary we go out and sometimes we make clothing, or sometimes we just go exploring. It's really up to the individual and their tribe.
And what kinds of things do you eat?
Plant material.
So you don't have fire on your planet?
I don't see it.
Okay. So everything you eat is raw?
Mhm.
Okay. And you said that you don't really sleep so much as you go into these spheres to just have a time of isolation and recharging. Is that correct?
Yes. They serve more than a purpose in just the retreat it's like the spheres are magnifying. I mean, it serves a twofold purpose, at least. I see its magnifying resonance of, like, we can tune into the other travelers in these things.
So your frequency, energetic frequency is amplified?
Yeah, it's like we're like a broadcasting or a receiving system. They're good for us because of the way they're built. And we can go and kind of tune into what everybody else is doing when they're away.
And are there a lot of those pods around?
No, not a lot. Just I don't see a lot of them.
So how is everybody able to get their individual turn in a pod if they're for the whole planet?
Well, there's some around us. Plus, we're all connected, so we know. Everybody knows what we're all doing, so it's not that hard to. We don't always go to those. It's just a few of us that even feel like we need to. I believe it's just us, just the traveler people.
So there are people around that don't ever go into the pods.
Yeah.
So they don't sleep either. They don't have any kind of recharging time.
No, they do other things. They don't have to go to the pods. We each have the things that we do that recharge us. Some people just sit quietly and just sit there for a while.
Okay. And do you have, is there a place where you live on the planet, or do you just live within the greenery?
Yeah, it's mainly, we're surrounded by rural areas. There's no cities except for the one city, that one priest city.
And in the rural areas, are there any kind of dwellings that you build, or are you still just in the...
It's very simple. It's like what I did when I went to the isolated. It's just maybe a central hearth out that's outside with built coverings that are just for a small amount of protection.
Mm-hmm.
No buildings there.
Okay. So your climate is the same all around the planet?
Mm-mm. Where I'm at is very temperate. I'm not sure about the rest of it.
Okay. Have you been to other parts of the planet?
No, not after I came through. I came here. I've been only in this area.
Have others traveled from other parts to your tribe?
The only time we intermingle is usually when we all go to the city. So not as far as I know. Because we're all connected, we don't have to travel around. We literally know we're aware, but I can't see what other areas look like.
So let me ask you about the travelers. Sounds like you have a particular purpose within your society, whereas other groups have other things they focus on. So can you tell me more about travelers? And I understand that they go out there and they learn and they expand the knowledge, but I'd like to understand better how that helps your species.
It's just part of who we are. It's what we've always done.
Mm-hmm.
There's uncounted places that we can go. It's part of adding to our knowledge as a species that we all get to participate in. The travelers provide a way for the rest of us to learn and grow and experience.
Mm-hmm.
And we can cycle in and out, take turns coming and going. It's like a recycling. So I may be a traveler this time, but next time I may not.
Tell me more about that. What do you mean next time?
When we go, wherever we choose to go is not forever.
Right.
So we come back into the breeders area, and we could go back out as a traveler, or we may go back and choose another path.
I understand that when you go out into another planet, let's say, you live a life there as, whatever that is, and then you come back. So are you saying that after that you can actually choose not to be a traveler anymore?
Yes, you can choose, but I usually choose to travel most of the time.
So when you come back, do you spend some time at home and then go back out again to another experience?
Yeah, every recycle period is unique and different. And there's no time to it, so it's up to the individual how they want it to go.
What do you mean by a recycle period?
The whole recycle period. So you're coming into the breeders area, you're pulled back into the physical world of our society. And once that happens, you get reconnected into all of us. And everything you learned and experienced last time is added to everybody. And then you can choose to go back and do the same thing, or you can choose to stay and maybe be in the breeder section and stay there and help others come back in. Or you can go and be a part of any of the other tribes and learn and assimilate and grow with them.
So when you return from your travel, you return to the breeders area
Yeah,
to start a new cycle.
yeah.
And when you return to the breeders area, do you go back to kind of your energy form before you're pulled back in?
Yeah, once you leave, when you go out as a traveler, you may go, there's undescribable places that you can go, forms that you can take, experiences, and once that ends, it could be in human terms eons or very short amount of time. It just depends. It's not set. So you could be gone from all of it for a long, long, long experience. And then you come back in, you get pulled back in because you've shed your form and you're just energetic. And you get pulled back in to physicality at that point. And at that point, you make a determination of what you want to do in that part of the cycle.
I understand. And so you have chosen to return to being a traveler.
Yes, I'm back to the point I'm fixing to go back out somewhere else.
And have you done that many times already?
Yes.
Okay. So I want to ask you about your travels to Earth, because in the moment that I'm talking to you now, you are on Earth. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So you've been here for a little bit. Can you tell me what you're learning from your experience on Earth?
Being human is foreign. The violence, the anger, pain. It doesn't feel right. I don't connect. I can see I'm bringing in the energies to the area around me, to those that I'm around.
What energies?
They allow for balancing, for the energies that I bring allow for the balancing of the earth, which helps those others around me. It helps them.
So are you communicating these things back to your species? Or are they kind of sensing it through you?
There is a connection, but it's not as I'm far away. It's not a strong connection right now.
And how do you share this learning? So will it happen when you go back?
Yeah, I'll take all of this with me,
Mm-hmm.
and it will be assimilated in for everybody else to experience and learn from.
Are there any good things, positive things that you learn from humans?
They have abilities they're learning to grow into. They just have to let go of the energies that are chaotic and ground themselves into the planet they live on. They don't do that though, and so they're very cut off. And it allows for them to be interfered with by other entities. They're like sparks of light in the darkness.
And you are very grounded on your planet, right? You're very connected to your planet.
To Earth, not as much. I'm just here temporarily. There are some humans who are empty. They're just animals. They've evolved with their planet. There are others of us like me here, but there's others that come in like I did. They're not trying to help with the energy. They're causing chaotic energies to come in and stay.
Are you saying other travelers came in here and they're causing?
They're not travelers like me. They're from different places. Humans have to evolve. Just the humans, we're piggybacking. We're like piggybacking on the humans right now. But it's like we're so intermeshed that it feels like they don't realize we're here.
So is that what you meant when you said that other entities are kind of not attaching themselves to the humans or unbalancing them?
Yeah, this place, Earth, is a unique, it's a many other civilizations come here to do a variety of things. Some are just here seeing if humans are going to be able to evolve and change. Some are here to keep them from doing it. And some are here to help them, help guide them, because they've been through this cycle over and over again. It's painful to be here because it's not the pain, it's violent anger and you have to connect to the earth. We're here to help them reconnect. That's why the travelers came here.
So I was going to ask which group you're in. Are you just the observers or the ones that are helping humans evolve?
We're teaching them how to connect together because they have separated themselves. Once they learn how to connect, they will rebalance the energies and it will help with getting rid of the chaotic energies. They need this to join us all.
And by that you mean to join the more evolved species or more evolved civilizations in the universe?
Yes, we are a brotherhood. We are all connected in this. We've been doing this for so many times to try, and it failed so many times.
You have failed trying to help humanity?
Yes.
Do you see a shift now? Is humanity starting to go in the right direction?
Yes. There's a change. They are realizing that this reality is malleable, changeable, and they have more power than they've realized. But it's because we're guiding them.
And how are you guiding humanity? What do you do?
Our energy intermingled with the earth, with theirs. It's a free will planet, a free will time-space reality. You can't make them change, they have to want it. So we can only guide with our energy.
Well, I personally want to thank you for that help. There are many of us here that really appreciate your support at this time. So when you travel to your next destination, Is there any technology that is used, or is it all just through your consciousness, or is it all energetic?
It's energetic. It's a state of being.
Mm-hmm.
It's a changeable awareness. You go to your sphere and then you leave.
And is there a physical body that's left behind?
Yes.
And what is done with that body?
It goes back into the sphere. It's part of the energy of the sphere.
Is it put in the ground or somewhere else?
It just slowly goes back into the sphere. The energy of it is reabsorbed. The energy is never lost. It's kept there, and that's why those are resonance spheres. That's why they're so powerful to communicate. It's because every time one leaves their body there, it adds to it.
So that body, of course, won't be used again, right?
No.
Okay. And I wanted to ask if you can maybe tell me if there are similarities physiologically between the bodies within your species and the human bodies in terms of functions and just the physiology.
It is humanoid. You do eat, but I don't sense any elimination.
Mm-hmm.
It's like we can take the energy of the food and just it gets absorbed into the body. The energy of the food. I don't see that we need a drink. I just see eating plant material at times, but not even very often.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't breed. It is merely a tool to experience physicality because we're more in touch with our energetic selves.
Now, last time you mentioned that you have some sort of ears and some sort of nose, but you weren't sure if you use them. So can you tell me more about that? Do you listen through your ears, or do you process sounds in a different way?
They're not like regular. Since we have communion, connection, the sounds are there, but they're not heard through an ear orifice. It's more internally. And we don't breathe. The nose is not like humans' noses.
Mm-hmm.
They're just bumps.
Do you have to have air? Do you have air on your planet? Oxygen or some other gas?
There's an atmosphere. There's gases of some sort, but it's not used to live.
Is there anything else you want to add about the physiology of your species?
It's just the physical form is just a focusing tool. It's just to help recycle back in and experience. It's like growing, evolving through the cycles. It's just to bring us in so we can experience one another on a physical plane. Because the majority of who we are is energetic.
Right. So those of you that stay on the planet that are not travelers, is there a limit perhaps to how much time they can spend within one physical body? Do they need to cycle out of it the way you do?
They could stay indefinitely if they chose. Most don't, though. They go in the physical to experience what they want to experience. When they're done with it, they just leave the body behind and make another recycling, and then they come back in and they choose a different.
And they can do it at any point?
Yes.
Okay. So I want to ask you about something we discussed last time. You told me that you had a red necklace when you came back from a period of isolation in the forest. You were given a red stone on a necklace. And you said at that point that that was temporary and that you would be getting another one later. Can you tell me more about that? Did you get another necklace, and what do these different necklaces mean?
They're just to signify where you're at in your recycling points of change or growth, or signifying movement into from one phase into another. So the red necklace signifies that I have gone through the isolation and was able to come out with my connection and my communion, ready to move on to the next phase, which is just a continuation of learning and growth.
And when you return from this current travel, will you get a different necklace?
Mm-mm.
So necklaces are only given at the beginning before you begin travels?
Yeah, it is, because it shows that this person, at the beginning of their cycle, that they've just come through their first test.
Thank you. And I just want to ask again, so it sounds like you're a very advanced species, and it doesn't sound like you need any technology. But do you use any of it on your planet?
No, we don't need it. We're very aware of our energetic power of who we are. That's where our true power is.
Okay. Thank you. Is there anything else you want to share with me today about your Earth experience or about your home planet?
No.
Okay. Then I thank you for sharing all this information. And now I will let you go for now.